2 versus Zerolag female.
Oh my god, another beautiful angle, and this is Jana with no skin. I am a little bit disappointed, but that's still good because I know I'm not going to be disappointed by the game itself. Look at that, going through the mid lane, having a brief look at both of the teams. Again, this is such a peaceful and beautiful view that we have here, but it's not going to stay like that for long because these teams have a lot at the stakes. G2 really want to progress and to go and have a rematch with a clash in the grand finals. Well, for Zerolag, they still have a chance to beat G2 and progress further, but this is literally their last chance to do so.
Yes, and this is a situation where both teams are fighting for either guaranteeing that they're going to be the third. Of course, both of them would get third. The one that advances will fight for first and second place. So all of them already have guarantees of dancing parties, I guess. Yeehaw!
Why are the pats not dancing? Okay, excuse me, Riot Games. Why are the pats not dancing when you're dancing? Even your little, even your little TFT thing is dancing with you on the ARAM, but this thing does not.
Oh, look at those emotes though. Yes. Oh my god, I love that. We love good sportsmanship, and these teams are really showing to us that they respect each other, but they also are here to have a good time and show us amazing League of Legends gameplay. Oh my god, Solari, this is going to be amazing regardless of the results.
Oh, absolutely. We are not here to see who exactly is going to win everything, even though, yeah, of course, it's important, it's very intriguing, but we are here to see some good League of Legends game and good sportsmanship, and whenever we see that on our screens, we are so happy. At least I am very happy. I don't know, everything I want from League of Legends, I'm getting all of it today.
Yeah, we see that both junglers have started on the same side of the map, so once again we might see a collapse towards the Scuttle Crab. Azir is taking a lot of damage, having to dodge the bombs, but the knock-up on the little tornado there, followed by Ignite, is gonna drop Colombo in around 100 HP, and that's gonna hurt them. They only have one more potion, whereas Jana, for example, still has biscuits, and Zaya still has potion as well.
So listen, I said that Jana is usually going into the defense, right? When you pick Jana, you know you want to be defending your AD carry and want to be very defensive as a team composition in general. The beauty of Jana, however, is that you can go extremely offensive during lane phase and even sometimes later in the game, especially because you have this beautiful tornado. The moment you hit somebody, and if you go with the glacial augment that is the keystone on Jana right here, you can have so much out of this little exchange on the bot lane. As long as the AD carry is quick enough to react to whatever is happening, and the series definitely is, you can get quite some damage on the table.
Yes, you absolutely can, and that's going to be super great for Zerolag, because if they were lacking the possibility of, well, not the possibility, but lacking the connects from the CCs, now it's going to be even easier, and that's going to be followed up by G-Wofi as well on the Gangplank, having so much damage with the barrels from a very long distance. So I think that's going to be working much better for Zerolag in this one.
On paper, it looks so. However, as always, we need to see how exactly it's going to be executed. But so far, we're going pretty peacefully, just as peaceful as that little skull crab that we just saw a little bit earlier. No double skull crab situation, but a little Sejuani on the bot side situation. However, she has been spotted on that little ward on the river, which means that G2 know that they need to step back a little bit and try to sit safely under the turret. However, you can see that they're suffering quite a bit there, with quite some damage flying their way and quite some control as well, which I think is even a little bit more annoying than the damage.
Yeah, that's very true. Being knocked up is awful, and followed by the slow from the glacial augment is going to be making you very stressed. But I think that in this case, it's so lovely to see Dark Dell being aggressive in the lane, because Colombo can be that threat as well, but he heavily relies on connecting the two bombs into a stun. So if you're gonna deal the damage through the tornadoes, through the Zephyr, right, giving the stun, the slow, and you can just back out easily because you have a lovely powerful in the early game shield.
Yeah,
they're doing it super nicely by taking advantage of it.
And taking advantage of the bot lane would be so nice because the first Drake of the game that is spawning right now, beautifully done, thank you very much. Production, this is the Mountain Drake yet again. A very lovely Drake to have during the laning phase. Something G2 would actually quite like for their lanes because right now, they are not feeling good anywhere on the map, but maybe it's about to change because Karina is on the mid lane, really has her eyes set on Apollonia. Apollonia misses the charm right there, and then the tornado doesn't hit anybody either, so everybody just throws some abilities at each other and walks away.
And speaking of walking away, I didn't even notice that Dark Dao was walking in to that mid lane when the gank from Karina was spotted, and that is one of the things that you're going to be taking advantage as well from Janna. It's her mobility,
Yes.
it's how fast she can be. So you're getting now the possibility of giving Apollonia a better support since she is a little immobile before she gets level 6. She just got it, by the way, so that's going to be great since the bot lane has pushed out quite a bit. We have the jungler in the Drake pit already. Ari has pushed as well. She has lovely, great wave clear, so it's going to be a nice zero lag first Drake confirmed for themselves. So nice to see that this time around, even though it was such a heavily dominant G2 game in the last match, they have not backed down. Their mental is still there and they're ready for fights.
Oh, absolutely. Throwing quite some damage into that from Caldes. However, can we take a moment to talk about Apollonia and Ari in this game? Maybe not right now because Karina is on the bot lane looking for another possibility of a gank. Both flashes are available for the side of Zerolag, so they will be able to get away nicely, but they don't even need to use it. And look at that. Wind Trading Cane is already here to shadow the lane in case of continuation. Continuation does indeed happen. A beautiful tornado hitting Caldes, I believe only Caldes, but also creating that beautiful slow field to make sure that nobody can really follow up. Both junglers are still here, looking for opportunities, but opportunities are not to be found on this lane, so everybody withdraws. So very quickly, Apollonia. Yeah, that was nice. Ooh. That was nice. Columbo, you're not recalling right now.
Not right now, maybe in a little bit, but my ADC is going to be clear to push out this wave, so yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that still works quite nicely. It's okay if I don't recall, I'm just a little support. And speaking of just little supports, on the side of Zerolag, we have the situation where that Ari, like we can see different paths in terms of building for Ari, right? You can go into being a little bit more of a utilitarian tool for your team, just going there with something like Everfrost and making sure that you secure the kills for somebody else. Here, for Apollonia, it is not really possible to go into a situation like that because you are the main source of magic damage on your team. As long as you go, if you don't go into the AP full damage, who else is going to be there to deliver it? It's going to be too easy for G2 to itemize things like Owen, for example, on their side. So you absolutely need to be there, soaking the gold, soaking the kills whenever they start coming your way.
Oh yes, and we have seen already that the bot lanes. Glacial Prison's gonna go wide, but Karina has been surrounded. The Herald has been activated as well, so there's going to be a couple of damage that might be dropped. Not coming from any of the champions, they all disengage, but what I was mentioning is how quickly the two bot lanes have swapped sides, and they're all gathering here. It's just Gangplank that seems to be still going for the bot lane, and Zerolag doesn't have any vision whatsoever of the pit, so they might just think about conceding this one. Sejuani also not really interested, just going for the clear on her jungle and setting up future ganks. But it's going to be the first Herald for G2 Hell, and we'll see where this is going to be dropped.
It would have been really hard for Zerolag to fight in there in that pit. That's
so cute. Look at the gingerbreads.
Yes, little gingerbreads.
Oh my god.
So, you were talking about vision a little bit earlier. Look at what G2 are doing right now around the Herald pit, around that part of the jungle. It is quite a lot of vision, but what really matters is that it's very offensive vision. And considering that we're so early in the game, it's really good to see such an offensive vision. If they continue like that, they're going to have a really nice time because there is still that Sejuani on the enemy team. You know that your Trundle is going to be stronger than her if they meet one-on-one. But you don't want to be meeting Sejuani anywhere on the map if you don't have your Trundle next to you. Because of that, you need to always understand how Sejuani is moving around the map. Keep that vision in the enemy jungle. As long as G2 do that, they should be fine.
Yeah, and I would love to see that sort of vision coming towards the lower side of the river, 130 for the next Drake. So they're probably going to rotate those wards into the side of the map.
Mm-hmm.
Might even go for an engage here, but little do they know that there's a wind trade in Kane in the bush. They're gonna get the resurrect from Colombo, and they're gonna be taken down pretty much easily. They have the ultimate from Gangplank as well, but the rest of the team from G2 has arrived, and the damage from Tifa is going to be big. Apollonia in the middle of everyone. Karina falling very short. Is it going to be a flash over the wall to follow up? It is not. Karina remains herself healthy, but it is a 1-0 trade for Zerolag on this one. So incredible push and attempted defense from G2, and they managed to defend themselves as much as they could.
It could have been a much easier kill if only Zillion didn't have level 6 already. Look at that, Wind Riding King going in, Kaldi's going down almost immediately because Zerolag used absolutely everything on them. But they resurrect, and that's the problem. They resurrect with quite a lot of health thanks to their support. And all of a sudden, this is suddenly enough time for the remainings of the G2 to join the fight. And because of that, there is no way that Zerolag can really continue and can really commit to flashing over the wall. Because there is still Syndra there waiting for somebody to do exactly that. And you don't want to be caught by her.
Yes, they absolutely do not. And Apollonia is going to get that single plating there. Lovely gold for a mid laner for Zero Lag. The Drake has spawned. There's going to be an Inferno now, so no Inferno sold this time. Karina has the Herald Eye. It's rotating right now towards this bottom side. No vision here on the Tri-Bush, but they have vision around the edges as well. Not much for Zero Lag though, so I don't think they would be able to do much about it. They do not have the vision. They're going to try to remain more careful about it. So I appreciate it's just going to be the first traded Drake of the game. So it's 1-1, not much to be worried about.
And look at that, we have the Hex Gates. That's a beautiful soul. I would say my favorite one in the game. And that's a very good dragon to stack because right now both teams can stack 3 of those on top of each other. And each of them gives you ability haste and attack speed. And that's what both of the teams would really love to have on their hands. Here comes the Herald you've been just talking about. Karina is releasing it on the bot side. Gonna get a little bit of those turret blades, a little bit of gold onto Karina and Cultist, I believe. Which, honestly, Cultist really needs gold right now. She's sitting very nicely in terms of the farm compared to Asuris, but Aphelios is really dependent on the items and they really need good source of gold in the early game.
Yes, they do. They've been building themselves a little bit of a CS lead compared to a series, but as you said, those turret platings are going to be amazing. They're going to get a lot of the damage onto the pockets of Countess as they needed so much. In regards to Xayah, she went for a very interesting sort of build path, I would say. Some damage is going to be absorbed by the shield. Here, Darkdale manages to prevent some of the damage.
I just wanted to point your attention towards the build of Xayah. This is Ravenous Hydra, and right now almost everybody's building a Ravenous Hydra on themselves because this item feels just so strong. It's kind of like a Magi's for the AD carries with a little bit of twist because you also get the Omni Bump there, and right now the damage on the splash, I believe, has been buffed quite nicely. So come on, it's a really good item to build, and I would not be surprised if we don't see a mythic as the second item as well. Something like the Warrior Blades, for example, also reworked in the preseason, popping up here as the second item. I would absolutely not be surprised if this actually works super well for Xayah.
Yeah, oh, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Those arcane skins are beautiful. So I was going to say, it looks like because of this choice of build, we have Azaris going for a lot of pushing potential. She's going to be doing the AoE damage on the lane, and that's going to be incredible for her to get the wave pushed. And because of the Hextech portals, they're going to rotate to the top lane there. They're going to meet with Gangplank. I don't know if they have vision. They do not. So that's going to be pretty nice. They have the control ward. There is no vision of Zerolag on that one, as they're positioning themselves here close to the Herald pit. Everyone seems to be looking for something, but G2 is positioning themselves quite defensively, aside from Karina, who might be in a bad place. Apollonia, though, gets a lovely charm on Karina. The Glacial Prison's gonna go wide. Damage is still dropping on Karina, though. The feathers are dropped back. They're pulled alongside the true damage from Apollonia. They're going to guarantee 1 kill for themselves, which is very nice considering it was the jungler from G2 Hell, so they can try to go for this Herald. Damage coming from Tifa, though, is going to get some sort of peeling and zoning onto Zerolag. They're still positioning themselves quite aggressively in regards to trying to steal this one. Nice damage, amazing, actually, coming from Gangplank. G Worthy manages that super well. Sirius guarantees the shutdown on Lysia, and they are controlling this area amazingly. They're going to get the Herald for themselves, and Zerolag looks to be really renovated in this match.
I don't know if it's the buff of the blue side, to be honest, but really, whoever is playing on the blue side seems to be much more confident on the map. Here, as you were saying, G2 were so defensive on the lane in terms of their positioning, which is not really understandable considering that there is a Herald already spawned actually on the map right now. And here, when they've lost their jungler, all of a sudden they decide that this is the good time to rotate towards the Herald and try to do something around it. There is Janna on the enemy team, mind you. She has an excellent terrain control together with Gangplank. They're not going to let you get anywhere close to defeat. Oh, you will be. You are not where you want to be. Oh my god, that's going to be a flash, but I don't think you're really getting away. Do you have any oranges, Wolfie? You do, but it's not really helping you.
Oh my god, the orange juice was not enough for this gameplay.
Yeah.
But the team was just a little behind, 1 or 2 seconds away from being able to help them there. Well, 20 seconds for the next Drake on the map. It's going to be, of course, the Hex Stack, as we're building towards a Hex Stack Soul. And we already have 4 players, of course, all of them, since G-Worthy is still respawning. In the side of the map here, unfortunately for Zerolag, they don't have much vision. G2, though, really oppressive on dominating the terrain, getting the vision around the area as well. So it doesn't look like they're going to contest this one. And the first Hex Stack is going for G2 Hell.
It's a nice exchange still, because look at that. Apollonia in the meantime managed to get the first turret of game into the pockets of her team. Yes, thank you very much. We know it's the Hex Strakes from now on. That's probably not going to change for quite some dragons coming on. But we got a nice exchange here, so the Herald in the end went to the Zerolag part, and they are still sitting on it, so mind you, with Wind Trading Kane, that's surprisingly a hard name to pronounce sometimes, might still be dropping it somewhere on the map. Yeah, somehow I want to say withdrawing Kane for some reason. Like, Kane is not withdrawing! Kane is doing
Kane going
the
to the bank! Collecting some money, dropping those paychecks.
Yeah.
Herald has been popped here in the mid lane, and it's probably going to get this tower down. Charges definitely going to land. The knock-up from Lysia as well, but the ultimate from Aziris gets them out of dodge, but another knock-up amazing from Lysia. Unfortunately for G2 Hell, there were no follow-up on that one, even though their top laner hit all of the CC. Zerolag maintained themselves alive on their fight and still took the tier 1 mid lane with them.
The beauty of having Gangplank on your team is that you can send him split pushing constantly, 24/7, sitting on the sidelines, never ever showing up to the team fights unless they are super important ones, and still be in the team fight and still have impact there and still help your teammates because of your beautiful global ultimate. Look at that, Gangplank never shows up to this fight. He's in the top lane, farming up, taking down the outer turret in the top lane. Yet a little bit later, it's going to be the ultimate thrown in the cannon barrage, and it's going to help so much because it slows everybody down, it deals a lot of damage, and because of the rest of your team can live for a little while longer. That has been the heal interrupted here from Janna by Lysia, but it doesn't really matter anymore. It's just about you stepping back and trying to, you know, lick your wounds, I guess.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out as well about that team fight in G Worthy's positioning on the ultimate was how Cultists had to use the clans to get out of the damage because the slow was so much, and if they were still there, Apollonia would probably hit a Q and get them out of the fight. Yeah. So a lot that was able to be provided for Zerolag just by being a champion in the game. They, as you mentioned, they don't even need to be close to the fight, but sometimes it's definitely worth it because those barrels are hitting quite some damage
Oh
already
yeah.
on almost 20 CS ahead of the fellow on in the top lane. And in
And
regards to gold overall, it just looks like, okay, they've built 4K gold though, Solari. That's really
yeah,
nice.
exactly. We're almost 20 minutes in the game, almost at the time where the Baron, the first Baron of the game spawns, and the gold difference is there, and it's a pretty significant one already. Zerolag are really feeling good on the Summoner's Rift right now. And I was talking about Gangplank a little bit earlier, and he is going with one of those builds that I absolutely do not understand, but it seems to be working so nicely, especially because it impacts your cannon barrage with those Convoy Blades built on you as the first item. Look at the Baron in the meantime, going down so quickly. Karina is here. She senses that something is very off. She's going to be stalled by two means of control. She's going to go in and still going to go down, going to resurrect, only probably to die again, but doesn't even matter anymore. Nobody from Zerolag is getting Baron. Well, 4 members of your team have the free Baron.
Oh my god, Karina, let's watch the replay on that one. Yeah. How were they able to absolutely nail that smite? Oh my god. They just... Karina comes in, gets knocked up, there's still enough time, and we see On from the back line
not even
getting
a smite.
also.
It's not even a smite. I think Karina just bit the Baron.
It's just a round.
Yeah, it's just a chomp. And you get
just
it.
Just a chomp.
Yeah.
Just nom 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 nom.
Exactly. It's just a one big nom. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like a show gas there. Oh my god.
Wow.
I'm so stunned. Oh my god, Karina.
Yeah.
What a precision play. Look at that. Not intimidated by 5 players from Zerolag, and that's going to give G2 such a nice breathing room. They are slowly but surely shortening the gap in CS that the two teams had, now down to around 3k, and it's going to be much easier to push the waves now, and that's going to avoid any sort of push that Zerolag wants to do, since they have the empowered minions too.
However, Zerolag don't really want to push right now because there's a dragon spawning up in 15 seconds. They want the second dragon because if they don't get it and G2 get it, it's going to put them on a soul point, and this is not the soul you can allow to give away because the chain lighting coming out of the soul is way too strong in the big team fights. Ooh, Win Trading Kane is getting a little bit of control in their face, but still getting away. Zerolag are in a very good position at the River right now. They have the upper hand here. They control the River. There is no vision available for G2. They don't really know what's going on around the Drake, but I'll tell you what's going on around. It has just spawned and it has just been started. G2 wants to go in. They have all the ultimates available, so if they go in and throw everything in the pit, it could be very dramatic, but they don't want it because it's just a second Drake for Zerolag, and they have the Baron buff and they want to keep pushing.
Yeah, and it was inevitable that the tier 1 in mid lane was going to fall. Apollonia close enough to get a nice charm. Stun on Karina as well is not going to come much to fruition. Our Xeris, though, really very confident in her positioning there. Oh my god, so fast with lethal tempo too. And all the, not all the champions, we have the ultimate from Win Trading Kane. Now you made me think of withdrawing. Oh my god.
I'm so
Win
sorry.
Trading Kane. The Glacial Prison is going to be out for a little bit. And I believe that it might have been a little bit of a stretch trying to go for that one because the players from Zerolag were very far away. So I don't think the follow-up would happen. The damage wasn't going to be quite there. And Karina is tanky enough to be able to survive. So it's alright though, there isn't much in the ground right now to be worried about, but since you don't have your ultimate, but it's still something to keep in mind that we saw happening a lot in the last Zerolag game, which was sometimes using those ultimate that are so crucial for the chain of CC being a little bit disjointed.
So, the Baron buff is going to wear off, if not worn off. Yeah, it's already gone for G2, I believe. So, they didn't really get too much out of it. I mean, the mid lane turret is a very good thing to take down, but nothing else. The next Baron is going to spawn in 2 minutes and 20 seconds, so keep your eyes on that timer because this is going to be the next big objective on the map. And then we'll be talking about the dragons. The next dragon, whichever team gets it, is going to put themselves on a nice soul point. So definitely, right now, unlike the previous time where both teams were just with... now I want to say withdrawn. They were just leaving the other team to take the dragon as they wish. This time it's not possible anymore. So sorry. I've started
That
it, now I
was
have to
so
suffer.
funny. Oh my goodness. Well, let's have a look at, for example, I mentioned how Aziris has been so confident and very aggressive as well in regards to her positioning. G2, very nice here, didn't have vision, is not approaching that bush whatsoever. And continuing talking about the series, we saw how the first item wasn't the mythical, and we thought about maybe it wasn't going to be the case for a second as well, but second is confirmed, the Kraken Slayer. So I think that's kind of important, especially since you
Yeah.
have Cultist with the Gale Force on her side. That's going to be very dangerous if she can get close to you. So we need to be very careful about all the things. Right now, Bologna and G Wofi have their TPs. Lysia as well, the only TP available on the side of G2 Hell. So much can happen in this 1 minute following the followed up by the respawn of the next Baron buff.
And Kraken Slayer alongside makes so much sense, to be honest, because look at the other team. You have Lysia, who's already building up into Jackshow, and then you have Karina, who's also going to be quite tanky. You want to be able to shred through them as quickly as possible, because otherwise they're going to be extremely annoying on the front lane, dealing so much damage and controlling the terrain of the battlefield so much. You want to get rid of it.
Yeah, you really do. I like how Zerolag was getting the nice jump followed up by the tornado. It's gonna deal a lot of damage here on Lysia, but she's still pretty much healthy on 50%. Oh no, G Wofi whiffs that barrel there. It's not going to connect. Damage is going to lack on G2 Hell. Karina on the side flanking. They have the ward is going to be cleared up by Zerolag. They're trying to do it. Apollonia is putting herself in a little bit of a dangerous position, but OG2. Oh no, the on-horn has started and another team fight is going to happen. Karina going for the backline. Wofi so low and have the oranges enough to keep them alive for a little longer. The charm is going to miss on Apollonia. Win trading Kane dropping very low. So are the rest of G2 Hell's champions, but all of them right now are still alive. They came back from base. They came back to base and back from base. Lysia with a TP is back again, very healthy in the mid lane, and Solari they're looking to push even further into this one, directing for this 20-second Drake that's going to spawn.
Yeah, and they really want to go on that soul point, and they want to be pushing further to make sure that they maintain more control around this part of the map. Right now, they are the first ones to be around the pit, which means they can establish the vision control around it, and vision is so crucial in this game. It's crucial in every game, everybody. If you're not putting walls in your game, you're doing something terribly wrong. But here you absolutely need to understand where everybody is, especially when trading Kane, who loves to be jumping from the bushes and from the fog of war. But look at that. Look at what's happening. G2 Karina is at the dragon, but Zerolag are at the side of the Baron. Do they really want to go and try to trade the objectives? I think they do. They have started the Baron. Look at that. Can they continue with it with everybody from G2 alive and now knowing what exactly they're doing? They're sacrificing the soul point and they're still taking the Baron. This is getting so dangerous.
It really is, Solari. 50% health on this Baron Nasha. The on-horn is going to land on a series, dropping very low in health, but the Glacial Prison goes on counters, followed up by the Charm. Lovely, but the Cleansing Flash is going to be able to make them alive for a little longer. Lizzie is dropping down a little bit. Karina followed up. That's Shirley being knocked out. Colombo might be taken. Tifa gets a nice stun on Zerolag, and that stops any further push onto them, but they still have the upper hand on this Baron. Nasha counters is very much healthy. The bombs coming from Colombo are there. They are trying to keep a hard position onto the bushes, get the area verified. The quick recalls are gonna pay for a lovely comeback to defend the turret. G Worthy with Darkdale as well. And Zerolag manages to get an amazing come out of that fight.
G2 in the end tried to trade the Baron for at least something on the map because they knew they were not in the position to fight any further. But look at that replay. Tifa's
Wow.
health immediately drops even before the fight starts. It's an immediate -1 for G2. And then a lot of control follow-up here. The charms, the tornadoes. The tornadoes do so much here. And then John is healing everybody up, making sure that those low health bars don't really matter anymore. And Karina cannot really get away any longer because it's too much control. Nice one from Tifa right here, but unfortunately it's not going to do much because nobody can follow up. And with your jungler down, it's so easy for your opponent to go and take the Baron.
Yes, and that's going to be exactly what Zerolag wanted since they missed. Unfortunately for them, they missed the last one, Karina stealing it away in an amazing fashion. G-Worthy collapsing here with Wind Trading Kane. Lizia falling very low. They pop the ulti, but it's not going to be fast enough. Karina is following on these two members. The damage from the barrels from G-Worthy is a lot. Now they are finding themselves alone. Karina is going for the 1v1. The Tifa gets the stun. Flash and orange from them, Worthy. You are dead, my girl. You are dead. But it's fine. In the top lane, Apollonia has taken down the tier 2. And the domination from Zerolag is increasing as we have now almost, actually, just a little bit over 6k gold lead.
Oh. Okay, now this is getting harder and harder for G2 to find the grounds to jump back into the game. They're still trying though. Look at that, Tifa is on the bot lane right now and she is going to crack open that outer turret on the bot lane. And they just got 2 kills on the bot lane a little bit earlier as well. They had to trade it for the turret on the top lane. And the usual question is, was it really worth it? Taking down 2 Baron buffs is really good in any situation, but those Baron buffs are going to wear off rather soon. You lost the turret there, but he got 2 kills, so I'm not even sure how to answer my own question. What is important right now, G2 are not stuck to their base, something we've usually seen before throughout the day-to-day, right? Somebody gets the Baron buff, they push all the way to the enemy base, and because of that, the enemy cannot really leave the base anymore. G2 are not stuck there. They can still move around the map, still look for the possibilities, for the push of themselves, for the kills. But it's getting harder and harder because the gold is still on the side of Zerolag, the items are still the side of Zerolag, and the majority of the control on the map is on their side as well.
Yeah, and we can see right now how differently from the last game, the controller vision. Thank you very much. There we can see how the wards are coming from Zerolag and how forwards they are in the map, and that's going to be so great for dominance in the jungle as they're doing here. Apollonia feels so safe to take down this tier 2 once again. So it was 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom, with Wind Trading Kane at her, shadowing her, getting the flank on anyone that might be thinking about stopping that mid laner. So things are going fairly well for Zerolag at this one. I'm going to ask you, Solari, what do you think is the next move that G2 has to do? I believe it will, at least in my opinion, it will be you have to guarantee that Hextech Soul.
Absolutely, you need the Hextech Soul and you cannot allow your enemy to take it, or maybe you want to take a series instead. A lot of damage coming out of that Cinder, but the damage is coming from both sides, to be honest. Khalees is very low already, needs to step away. Columbo too, and there is nowhere to step back because of that cannon barrage. A very aggressive flash there. Jana, you are just a support. Are you sure you want to be the one killing the enemy to carry? Yes, apparently she does. Tifa in the meantime is completely cut away from the rest of the team, goes down as well. Zerolag are all alive and feeling very well and very aggressive.
Yes, they are, Solari. That was a lovely play from Zerolag, how they danced around in the map in the mid lane to get a lovely outcome from the team fight. And to see Darkdell as well, they were going on Countess, and that it was Countess, wasn't it? And that guaranteed that Columbo would have to use that ultimate on them. So ultimate from Columbo is down. Of course, it's a zillion. The cooldowns are going to be fast, and they're going to be here. We have both sides collapsing on this Drake. Karina is around, but the zoning from Zerolag is pretty much sufficient to keep her away. No stealing this time around. Worthy! What? Worthy with a 1 barrel gets a 1-shot kill onto Sejuani. And wait, no, oh sorry, on Colombo. And then the trading on Sejuani is going to happen followed up the damage of a series on counters. They're so confident and aggressive as they know they have so much damage. They have 3 completed items. And okay, Solari, you need to break things down for me because I was stunned with everything.
I would need to see the replay of what happened at the Dragon Pit because I completely missed the moment of that one shot. I blinked. I literally blinked. And the Columbo was gone already. But here, look at the health bars. Everybody's going solo. But again, the Cannon Barrage is just doing so much by not allowing Columbo and Calidus to regroup and go back to safety safely. That didn't really sound too good. And because of that, Tifa is getting completely cut off from the rest of the team, going into Zhonya's lead, but it's still not really going to help you because you're going down anyway. G2, what are you doing? Don't ever try to flip games on the Baron. That never ends well. But G2 cannot hear him, and because of that, they're gonna do whatever they please to, and they please to take the Baron play. Oh my god, he's trading Kayn.
Tifa had to pop a Zhonya there, Solari, but the timing was awful. That managed to get Zerolag in such a good position to keep on fighting this one. All of G2 is collapsing, but Karina, once again, gets the finalizer on Baron buff, and Tifa is the last woman standing that has the purple buff on themselves. But still, it's a full team from Zerolag collapsing into your base. The open mid lane, they're going to go for these Nexus turrets. The stun is not going to land. That Xayah is going to be dealing a lot on the turret. Zoning from Wind Trading King is going to get Tifa away. This turret is melting, so is the Nexus. And the equalizer on the series is for Zerolag. 1-1, we go to a game 3.